What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back to Ravens Roundup. This is, and I think, and we were talking about this before we started. I think this is season 5, episode 1. Could be season 6. Could be season 4. I don't really remember. That's old age does that to you. So, but it is what it is. We back. We back in the building. Got the fellas here for the initial episode of this season, and we really gonna talk about what we've seen so far. But before we get into all these good questions I have for the fellas. I want to check in on everybody because this is the first time in maybe 2 months, maybe, so that we didn't even talk, and probably the first time for a minute since Carrie been on with us. So I just want to catch up on everybody and see what's going on and go from there. And with that being said, since I said Carrie, glad to have you back. I appreciate you. I miss your insight. I'm ready to see to hear what you've seen so far, and just welcoming you back into the fold. I'm glad to have you back here with us.
Yeah, man, I'm super glad to be back, man. Life was life in a little bit, but things starting to settle back down. So it's good to be back, chopping it up with my guys, man. I'm, just super excited to get back into it and hear some of y'all thoughts and kind of bounce some of my thoughts off of y'all and see what we can come up with.
Cool. Chris, are you back home?
Yeah, I'm home.
I know you was on an extended vacay with the girls. Hey, honestly, yeah. I wish I was one of them this summer. Y'all been doing the damn thing. Y'all been doing
it. Yeah, we got 2 more weeks left until we back to reality with school and schedules and all of that stuff. So we trying to live it up and trying to take advantage of these last 2 weeks that we got of freedom.
Cool. And then my other 2 compadres been on the grind just as much as me. Jose, every morning, Monday through Wednesday with Hendo, and doing the regular show on Wednesday. And then sudden is like Kendrick, he just pop out and show ninjas. He every 15 minutes he live. Every 15 minutes. So what's good from the weekend from you guys? 'Cause I see y'all every other day.
No, yeah. I mean, I just got back home. I was actually in Maryland visiting some family over the weekend. I was at a wedding and things like that. It was a lot of fun, a lot of love, things like that. And then I ended up flying back yesterday morning. And it's funny because I was on the plane. I was listening to Jose and Hendo in the morning, and probably like my favorite morning listen. You know what I mean? So shout out to Jose and Hendo because that's a great show. I want to get on the show. Jose, what are we gonna do it?
Yeah, you know what? Yes, this I was supposed to be this week. Next week. Just let me know what day and I got you. Whatever day you want. It's fine.
We'll be in touch. Yeah, we'll be in touch. But I'm good, Coach. I'm good. I'm doing good.
Jose,
we're getting. One of the kids getting back to school this week. He's in middle school now. Jacob.
That's our Hooper, right?
Son. That's the Hooper.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Hooper.
Yeah,
okay. We actually he's actually been helping me with these high school kids. We did some summer workouts. He's been in the gym with us. So that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much
it. Gonna benefit him.
Yeah. And of course, the secret project I've been working on. Well, one's not secret anymore. The Pick 'em League is out. People can sign up for that. But the other
go ahead and talk about it.
The other G5 classified one. That's that's still in the works.
Tell them about the Pick 'em League for those that don't know.
Yeah, members.lbhtshow.com, 100% free. It's one league to rule them all. We're all in it. Okay, you can find your favorite content creator in there. It's a whole ranking system. You got achievements and all that stuff. Sign up, and make picks with us throughout the year. And it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool. So with that being said, I'm going to win the Pick'em League. I'm gonna win. Both of my fantasy leagues. I'm gonna win Sutton's league. I'm gonna win the content creator. I don't know if them jokers did their stuff. I got a content creator league too for the Ravens content creator. I don't know if they did their stuff, but I can't remember who won last year. I just know Nitro was dead last. Nitro didn't win a week. He didn't win 1 week, not one. All right, so let me send a few shout outs and then we're gonna get on into it. So shout out to Jacob for coming through. Appreciate you. We got a new membership from Green Mount G. Appreciate you, Green Mount G. Appreciate it. Jamal Braxton. That kind of remind me of the shirt the Hendo had with the Lamar with the like skull and stuff. What
Jamar
you call-
Laxton?
Yeah, Jamar Laxton. Tiffany Red, appreciate you. Tiffany Ned, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Red. Tiffany Ned, my bad. Pretty girl TLB, appreciate you for coming through. Spend a little time with us. B, what's good? 86 goals.
What's good?
TY.
Got
some of our members falling in here too as well. Tila is one of our members. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, while I'm doing this, yesterday was eventful, y'all. And as frustrated as I was yesterday, my wife told me how y'all was cutting up in the chat and y'all was having a good old time in the chat. So I appreciate y'all for finding something to do with y'all time while I was wasting it. Again, I am so sorry for that, and I'm gonna make it up to somebody probably today. If you're a member, you know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about. But let's go through it. Chef Trez, appreciate you. Bodun Handsome, and if you didn't say this morning, Jose, I probably would screwed this up.
Yeah, it took me a few tries. Shout to Bodan, man. He be coming through every morning. Appreciate you.
Teacher Nick, God's favorite, and I still got to add God's favorite. I got to go find the channel and add him to the thing. God's favorite started the channel, so I got to go get the link. And I think some people found him yesterday and went and subscribed. So if you click on the thing and go to it, subscribe. But if you do, bring your butt right back. I would suggest you wait till the show's over with. But if you do, bring your butt right back, right back. One of our stretches is here, 626. Did we ever decide who was Big Stretch and Little Stretch?
So we're not gonna call him little. He's Stretch because he Stretch is 5'11", and Stretch 52 is 6'2". So he won the battle. He's Big Stretch. This is Stretch, and Stretch 52 is Big Stretch. That's what we decided.
Okay, so now I apologize. No little, just regular Stretch. My bad. My bad. I apologize.
Nothing regular about you. You Stretch.
I didn't mean to start nothing that had already been finished. Look at me. Being messy and not know it. What up, Matt? Appreciate you. Matt? Appreciate you for coming through. T Sizzle, what up, Ken folk? What's good? We got Jacob already. We got Chef Trez. Afia, appreciate you for coming through.
Yeah.
RJ Trap. Zeke. RJ. I know Zeke will come in and says, "Hey, Unc."
What up, nephew?
Cam.
Killer.
Shelly Shell. No twerk music today, Shelly. You got to have to kind of make it up a little bit. Had to kind of make it up. Jay Free. Young iTunes. Chris, last time you was here, it wasn't as many names. That I've been kind of working a little bit, so I had to give me a minute. I had a busy summer. we had 13K yesterday. I had a busy summer.
That's good.
Congrats.
Yes. See, Ty Grails, Dre. My Hawaiian brother. I don't know if he's still out there or not, but that was my Hawaiian brother. Runix, Mike M. No locked intro. Not on this one. No. Because when I do it over there, they can't. It's a cluster for them, so I have to do that on this platform. Greg, appreciate you. I'm in the speedball now. Let's see who else we got. Aggie, appreciate you. She was over there with me on More to the Tally earlier. Chris is in the building.
What up, Chris?
Hey, because Chris is here. You remember the Players Club? Watch your tone and keep your hands on your head. Chris is the police. Watch your tone and keep your hands on your head. And cousin, she said something about you a minute ago. I'm assuming it's about you. When I get to it, I'm gonna throw it up on the screen. Let's see.
About me?
No, Sudden.
Oh.
Sudden. Hold on. If I see it going back down,
Sutton's on the list.
I've been on Chris's list. I'm like perpetually.
Here it is. She says, "Hey panel, minus the deaf guy. I want to mute."
It's okay.
What up,
That's
Smitty?
okay.
Miss Fancy Pants, appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you. Jeremiah was good. I don't see it, but I know you're in here because Chris just said it. Jose, take it away.
Tracy is here. Good evening, Tracy. It's one of my favorite people right here. Good to see you. Glad you came through.
Appreciate it. Oh, we got a gifted. Ryan brought us a gifted. He gonna live a long time.
Shout out to Ryan.
He gonna live a long time. We were just talking about him. He gonna live a long time. Shout out, Ryan. Appreciate it. Whoever got that gifted from Ryan, please let him know. Thank you and reciprocate. Go ahead, son.
So yeah, Ryan, Vlog Rundown, he gifted a membership, and I think 86 Ghost was the one who received that one. But then 86 Ghost, he gifted 5 himself. So big salute to 86 Ghost as well.
Appreciate you, B. Always coming through. Always coming through. And I'll go, B, I'm going to let the cat out the bag, all right? I'm going to go ahead and let the cat out the bag. A couple years ago, before I would do the live streams on the games, I would have like most games you have a tailgate. You have pregame food or whatever. And so B was coming to us with pregame recipes, for that you might want to tailgate. That's probably coming back. That's probably coming back. So B will be the intro to my game stuff, and he'll have something for you to maybe try to cook at home and whatnot. So, and it was a good thing when we did it a couple years ago, and he asked about bringing it back. So I was all for it. That's
dope.
So now I done put you on Front Street.
I love Bazel's food reviews.
Yeah, I do too.
Channel. Yeah, they're dope.
I do too.
I gotta check that out.
Let's see. That's about it. Everybody else, charge it to my head, not my heart, because I'm gonna waste these fellas' time, and we're gonna get into it. What up, Amp? And I'll be studying, doing the shout outs throughout the rest of this. Boss Lady, where you at? I gotta say shout out to Boss Lady. Hey, there you go.
Hey.
There you go.
Night
so
benches.
Right. So with that being said, if you're a member, what up, Pay the Bills? If you're a member, go find the message I left y'all before the stream. If you're a member, go find the message I left y'all, and then act accordingly. It's G14 classified, but if you're a member, go do what I asked you to do. And so far, thumbs up. But now let's get into the content, and we'll get to what that is on the back end. I got my little notes. I'm ready. I'm professional today. So first thing, after the first two preseason games, what do we actually know about the Ravens is the topic I got. We got pros and cons, and we're going to go through pros and cons. So this is what we got. The first pro. Baltimore surrendered just 10 points in two preseason games. Against Philly, the Eagles went 0 for 9 on third down. Against Minnesota, the defensive front consistently caused problems. And remember, much of this has been accomplished with backups and players fighting for roster spots. Ethan Burke. So my first question, is this just preseason dominance? Or are we seeing legit defensive depth on the Baltimore Ravens? And I'll start with you, Chris.
I think it's definitely depth that they have because, we've seen this team for years obviously do well in the preseason, but we're seeing a jump when it comes to depth and players being put in positions to succeed. I think for me, from what my eyes tell me, we're seeing a really nice connection between what the coaches want and what the players can do, and we're seeing them put in those positions. And I think the level of depth that they have across the board, because when you look at the defensive line, there are guys playing in the preseason game who were starters, like kind of quasi-starters last year when you look at John Jenkins. And you see what John Jenkins did last year, and he was kind of, it's not a sexy position, it's not glamorous, but he was an important part of their defense last year because it was a bad defense. It would have been even worse without him on it because he was a key part of it. He was getting some starter snaps at times just because they had to, and he actually played pretty well. Now we're seeing that across the board. We're seeing guys like Dominic DeLuca do their thing. We're seeing we're seeing the edge rushers do their thing. We're seeing cornerback. Kone's doing his thing. Tampa's doing his thing. Obviously, Chandler Rivers. You got Martin doing his thing. You got the Crash Out doing his thing. So there's depth across where obviously somebody's going to get hurt on the team. Where it's coming to a point where if somebody gets hurt, you kind of feel confident in, okay, this person isn't the starter, but we can survive with this person there. It's not like, oh my God, this so-and-so went down, season's over. It's like, no, like they can hold the fort down and we can get through it until that person gets back to being healthy again. So I like the depth that's on this team. And I tweeted it out. I said, this is going to be one of the hardest cut down days that I can ever remember. Because I was telling Mike and Carrie a couple of days ago, I'm stuck at like 58, 59. And like, it's hard for me to get down to 53. So it's going to be some tough decisions.
I'm with you, Chris. I'm right around 55, 56. And then after the game the other day, it went up to like 58.
Right.
It went up to like 58. But Jose, how about you? The same question.
Well, hold on. Let me get a sip here. I'm a little parched here.
Oh, yeah. Sudden. I owe you, Sudden. I owe you. Oh no, I owe somebody. Who I owe? Did I get everybody?
That's all right. I got y'all covered with this one too. Okay?
Got the black one too.
See, I thought I owed Sudden because I showed like I gotta get Sudden this discount. It's good, ain't it?
It's so good.
If you want one, if you're watching mobile, it's probably below us.
There you go.
Probably below us. If you watch,
I got mine. I got mine right here.
There you go.
Hey,
you get your traveling sippers.
I told since he'll be drinking, just take this little what's called and stick it on there.
That's how you do it. Just to piggyback off what Chris is saying, the reason why it's so tough is because everybody, it's a well-disciplined team, and I can't think of the player that's out there that looks like they're lost.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what's making it so hard is that, okay, there might be a drop off in talent, but when everybody knows their assignment, they know what to do, and they're flying to the ball, that hustle, that effort makes up for it. So like Chris was saying, if somebody goes down, you feel confident that you can just take somebody and plug them in, and there's not going to be that much of a fall off because he's going to flow with the rest of the defense. And I think that's something that the coaching staff has preached all offseason from the time they came in the door, is that they want the players to be accountable, take ownership, understand everything that's going on. Like even on the offensive side, you hear them talk about how Declan Doyle's constantly just stopping them in the hallway, quizzing them and making sure they know what's going on out there. On the defensive side, they're told to always communicate, be loud, so it's just a constant communication, constant understanding. And yeah, I mean, look, we talking about these young players that, I mean, Chandler Rivers, you already know how I feel about Chandler Rivers. Like I thought he was a smart college player. I loved what I saw in the last game. He was, it's like 5'8". He's hitting people. You know what I'm saying? Yep. He flying down the line, and he putting a shoulder on players. He's not afraid of the contact. He's always around the ball. Ethan Burke, that's another one. I mean, it's going to be tough for sure.
Exactly.
Hopefully, some of them clear waivers and can make it back to the practice squad.
All right, I got a different question for Kerry and Sutton, and I'll start with Kerry. Who's impressed you the most this preseason? Defensively.
Man. So defensively,
we can go over to the point about what position group has impressed you the most.
Definitely cornerback. Cornerback for sure. You look at this, and what's crazy is besides Rivers, none of these guys are new. So it lets you know they're being elevated by the scheme, they're being elevated by coaching. But if you go up and down this list, TJ Tampa's looked the best he's ever looked. Keon Martin is picking up right where he left off, but taking it to another level. Rivers looks like, one of the steals of the draft. Kone is flashing. Just go up and down, the cornerback, and you got guys that are they're being maximized, but they're also making plays within the scheme as well. When a number is called, blitzes, certain things, they're making plays, but they're also staying in phase and just doing the normal stuff that you need from your cornerback groups, being sound in zone, coming up and tackling when you need to, just being smart, being physical. So definitely corner. I was telling Chris and them the other day, the Ravens usually have that obligatory $5 million contract that they give to that third corner every year. The way these guys is playing, maybe they don't have to do that next year because, there's a lot of young depth on this team where, you don't have to necessarily be as fearful as you've been in previous years not having a corner depth because, it looks outstanding right now.
Son, same question for you.
Yeah, for me, I have to agree when we talk about the secondary right now, because somebody that I was really looking at closely was Chandler Rivers, like Jose had mentioned before. Chandler Rivers is a guy who in college we saw him do a lot of things kind of out of the slot. And one thing that I saw him like rushing the passer, that's something that intrigues me, because when you look at what Jesse Minter's been able to do, even in the just these past 2 preseason games, only giving up 5 points per game, a lot of that is because what he's doing kind of confusing these opposing quarterbacks and making them hesitate for like 1 extra second. I've been seeing a lot of that. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Keandre Jackson sack. It was like a 9-yard sack in the Vikings game where pre-snap, it looks like he's nowhere near the line of scrimmage, right? It looks like he's not coming at all, right? But as soon as the ball is about to get snapped, he's like right there and like pressing the line. And I can't remember who exactly was in. It might have been JJ McCarthy or it might have been Carson Wentz at that time. I want to say it was Wentz. But Wentz just never saw him coming. And I just think that, the secondary, with how versatile they're going to be able to be with guys like Malachi Starks and Jalen Hawkins holding it down on the back end, and then Kyle Hamilton kind of roaming around free and doing whatever he does. The sky's really the limit, man. I'm super excited for this defense, more so than anything on this team right now. I'm sure we'll get into all the other stuff later, but if I had to say one position group, I would say DB. But don't sleep on, honestly, there's guys at all 3 levels that like I really, really love. You mentioned Ethan Burke, I think before you asked the question, Coach. He's a guy who I'm seeing like he's bull rushing dudes, right? He's very powerful with his bull rush. I don't know if you've seen the same thing in film. I've seen that when I was just watching just now. And then also he's batting down screens. He's super instinctual. He's taking good routes to the or good angles to the football. There's a lot of things to be like excited about on this defense. So it's hard for me to really single out one, but you guys make some good points about the secondary. And I think that also, like what Kerry said, like you don't have to have that, like you said, obligatory $5 million contract on whatever veteran safety. Same thing kind of goes for like the offense when, in the wide receiver room, they're not really going out and getting that veteran wide receiver that we would normally get every single season. So I think it really speaks to the coach's mindset too, of like, hey, look, we're going to stick with this depth that we got. We trust these young guys. Like, it's not just like a fake, we like our guys hardball, but 2 weeks before the season, we're going to sign, this corner and that wide receiver for X amount of money. No, we trust these guys. They look good. So far in preseason, I can't wait to see what they do going forward.
Yeah, I think that's a really good group going forward. Overall, all the defense, but let's play devil's advocate here, because I kind of piggyback off something me and Chris said with our lineup kind of being at 58, 59. Give me one name that's on the bubble that you probably think is going to get cut, and that'll be for everybody. Just one name on the bubble defensively that's probably going to get cut. And I'll start with you, Sutton. We'll go back around.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, I'm looking at either, as much as it might pain some of the Ravens fans right now, but Dominic DeLuca, I'm looking at him as possibly one, because he's been good, but I just don't think that he would steal a spot over like an Ethan Burke, like if it really came down to it. Also, as much as it pains me to say, K'Mon Rucker is another one who I could see possibly not making the team, even though I liked what I've seen from him, especially in the Vikings game. It's tough, but there's a couple candidates, but I'll stick with like DeLuca's kind of like my main one.
Gotcha. Kerry?
Man, looking at it, and I just want to hoard, man. I don't want to let any of these dudes go.
It's tough.
It's tough, man. But I'm looking at it. It's gonna be tight, and I think corner is 7 deep, and I think they'll try to keep all 7. I'm looking at Kayvon Wallace. He's a really good fit for the group, but I'm just looking at somebody has to go. And so I'm looking at him compared to a Keandre Jackson. You'll have more years with Keandre Jackson going forward. So even though he's a vet that they brought in that on his face would probably be the 4th or 5th safety, you got to open up room somehow, man. And so he's a guy I could see, being on that bubble.
Hold on, I'm putting a disclaimer out there that I meant to do earlier. I'm sorry. I forgot. I meant to do this before we started, but I'm going to do it now because somebody just reminded me asking a question. Let me see now how I run this. Yeah. So we're going to run this at the bottom. So don't super chat because we're not doing it. No, if you super chat and ask this, we're not talking about it. So disclaimers down there.
We talked about it this morning. Sutton talked about it on his show, so you get some commentary there if you want.
Yeah, because Sutton talked about it not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I was riding home listening to it.
Yep.
And y'all got into the good. That's because somebody just said about the good conversation this morning, which made me think about it. So I don't say this in response like you did something wrong. Whoever that was just said that, but it just reminded me that I meant to do this before we started. So that's all it was. You ain't do nothing wrong. Asking the question, you was good, but it just reminded me that I wanted to put that out there before it got going. So no disrespect to whoever asked that question, because when I saw it, I immediately thought, oh, I was supposed to put this up, and I forgot. So that's what that is. That's what that is. All right. Let's go on to topic 2. Now, Sutton, I might need, let me see how I see my time so I know where. Oh, I see it. I see it. All right. This is the con. We talked about something good. This is the con. Are we still worried about the offensive line? This could easily become the worst part of the team at any point in time. But Flores and the Vikings and all them pressure packages they did Sunday, he ain't had to do all that. he ain't had to do all that. But Lichtenheim had penalties. Wenger looked human, looked mortal, and but they looked great versus Philadelphia. So with the center situation, one guy got hurt. We got Pochik versus Gwynn now. I'm really not as secure as I thought I was going to be in that situation. But the question is, because everybody's kind of panicking a little bit because of what happened in the early part of that game. Are we overreacting to what the Vikings did, or are we still having those same super paranoid offensive line situations, son?
You know what? I think I don't think there's any reason to panic after what happened against the Minnesota Vikings. Like you mentioned, I mean, Brian Flores, he is one of the better defensive minds in this league right now. And Declan Doyle being a first-time play caller, him going up against, I've said it multiple times on my channel, is basically like Brian Flores handed Declan Doyle a final exam on his first day of school.
Yes.
Right. And I thought that, for the most part, it was a defensive struggle, of course, but like they held up. There wasn't a bunch of turnovers or anything like that. And then the offensive line specifically, it's going to take some time for those guys to gel up front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just happens with an O-line. And, I think that it was a solid test that we won't be able to see in real time. But like when we think about it in hindsight, when we're kind of rolling, like, when we get rolling quicker than we normally would, I think it's going to be because in large part because we got a stern test, a very stiff test with the Vikings in the joint practices in the preseason game. So I don't think there's any reason to panic about it. I think that Wenger Ioane is going to be fine. Like you mentioned, he did look human, but at the same time, we've seen some really good flashes of him. And really what we want to see out of our guards is nastiness and effort, right? And Wenger Ioane brings that, right? When it comes to like passing off blocks and things like that, maybe, okay, he's like a little step behind, but you can tell like he's getting there. Like once the game actually slows down for him, which I expect a couple weeks into the season, he's going to be good. Kind of like a set it and forget it piece. John Simpson, we're yet to see. But outside of that, I don't know. I'm feeling good about the offensive line still. I am.
Chris?
I'm not panicking at all.
I'm TBD. I mean, we haven't watched the starters actually go against anybody. I mean, we've heard practice reports and things like that, but I'm going to reserve judgment until we see the actual starters in there because most of the guys are year 1, year 2 players, so I'm not really expecting them to be able to process and pick up a Flores defensive scheme, in week 2 of the preseason. But I think we'll get a good gauge of where this offensive line is. I think by like week 4, we'll see them kind of gel together, kind of get their footing a little bit, and then we'll know where this offensive line really is. Because the fact of the matter is, we just haven't seen the starters go against anybody yet, so it's kind of hard to tell right now. But I will say this: I do like what I'm seeing from some of these reserve guys, like similar to what we spoke about with the defense. Mainly the right tackle, he looks damn good. He looks really good. Like
Lichtenheim?
Yes, I don't think he's going to be a Pro Bowler or anything like that. But I think that's a guy that you can keep around and he can be a part of your swing tackle plans if you want. I think he's been out playing Vincent, to be honest. Who else?
About to fight Chris now.
I mean, the tape doesn't lie. I mean, Vincent looked like he got grease on his hands every time he tried to put his hand on a defender. Like his hands are just I don't know. They look weak to me. Like when he was in college, he had power in his hands, and for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. Now when he puts his hands on defenders, it's like they just slip right off of the defender, and they always go to the outside. I don't know what's going on with him, but I think the right tackles definitely look better than him. Who else? I Posick looked good. Gwen, he looked all right. It wasn't like game one, but I thought he didn't do anything to hurt himself either. Voorhees, he just continues to look like absolute garbage. So
Terrible.
I don't know what the hell you do with him. And then Emory Jones. Emory Jones is a work in progress, but his week 2 was definitely better than week 1 because week 1 was garbage.
Hot. Different question for Jose. I mean, for Jose and Kerry. And Chris brought him up a minute ago. Pochick or Gwen? And I'll start with you, Kerry. From what you've seen so far, Pochick or Gwen at center?
I kind of lean Gwen right now. It's funny because, when this new coaching staff got hired, I was thinking, well, after free agency went and, we didn't really sign any receivers, or any other offensive players, really. I thought, okay, well, eventually you'll get the boost from bringing in a scheme and having players that have played in the scheme before. You'll get that boost. You get somebody, hey, I know the system. I can come in and, help the team. What I wasn't counting on is if for that to happen with Gwen being under Letford and what he's coming in to be able to do to look like a guy that could be a credible option at center. And so, Pochich is solid. I kind of want to see Gwen a little bit more. I don't want to declare it one way or the other, but Gwen obviously gives you more physical upside with his movement skills and his tenacity. So I kind of lean Gwen right now. I mean, the safe play is Pochich, but I want to see Gwen a little bit more.
Gotcha. Jose?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Gwen as well. Same thing that Kerry said. I mean, I remember hearing a interview from Dwayne Letford where he mentioned Gwen and he just basically said, "Hey, look, his time is now, right? His time is now to prove it." He didn't get a lot of snaps in Atlanta, but he was somebody that Letford got to watch closely and he knows what he can do. So, I think him being able to show it in these preseason games and especially this game, this joint practice, will instill more confidence in him. Don't come outside, Chris. You about to get jumped. But not, I don't see this coaching staff just going with the veteran just because, right? Like they're looking for specific things from the players, and they're looking for a person that can execute it. They want players that they know are going to follow directions. Right. So I think Javon Gwen, because he's already been coached by Letford, doesn't have any other bad habits that Ethan Pochick does have. Right. They don't have to worry about coaching that out of him. So I think they'll just and a perceived lighter schedule at the very least, might make them feel comfortable just putting him out there early and working out any little kinks that he might have.
I'll say I'm gonna jump in quick. My 2 cents. They're both decent, but they have different strengths, in my opinion. I think Gwen is really good in the run game. He suffers a little bit in the pass game, especially if there's a zero. But I think Pochick is really good pass pro. I don't think he can move. Like I said, a lot of people say he ain't 100% healthy, so I don't think he's moving well enough to maybe be that in the run game. But his pass pro, to me, is really, really good, based off where we got him and when we got him. Because I'm keeping in mind when we got him and where we got him versus what we want out of him. So that kind of go in line. We got a guy off the street. So you can't expect him to come in here and dominate, every rep. But if he can be better than Gwen, we'll see. But I think they got different traits, and whichever one can close that gap. Like if Gwen can get better pass pro, and if Pochick can get better run game wise, I think that'll be the person that'll be the center going forward. But I do like the point about the coaching with Lefford. He's been with Lefford at least last year. I don't remember where he was before that, but at least last year. So he pretty much know what Lefford want and how Lefford want to do it. So he got to jump on everybody else from that. So and I think somebody put in chat, it might be him by default. So, but we'll see. We'll see on that. All right. 1 to 10. This is for everybody. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in the offensive line? Start with you, Chris.
I mean, projecting, I would say right now maybe like a 6. Just projecting because I don't know. You know, we don't know who's going to be the center.
Right.
We don't know how the change of Ledford is going to affect them. I mean, we all have high hopes, but at the end of the day, we don't know. We have to wait till we see him on the field, and we know that Roger Rosengarten is talented, but is he going to take a step forward because he took a step back last year? And with Ronnie, you know, he's getting older. You know, how's his body reacting? How is he moving? You know, these are things that we don't know. You know, Venga, although everybody who followed during the draft cycle knows I love him, but he will be a rookie. And John Simpson, if you know me, you know I'm not a John Simpson fan. So it's going to be.
You have some colorful words for John Simpson from time to time.
Yeah, I thought he was trash when he was here, but it has been 2 years, so I'll give him leeway and see how he is in this system. You know, back in Baltimore, but yeah, I'm gonna say a 6 for now.
Gotcha, Jose.
A 5. And I'm only giving it a 5 because of how well this coaching staff appears to have coached this team up, right? Like,
so it's below that at first.
Yeah, 100%. We invested nothing in this O-line, right? I mean, outside the first round pick, I think this is still the lowest paid O-line in the entire league, or one of the lowest paid. If this was the other regime here, you know, the guy that's outside the bar now was still in charge, I'd be saying Mayday, Mayday, right? Like this this would be a disaster. But I just like what I see from this coaching staff, and you know, they're taught well, and Dwayne Lefford came here with a great reputation, and even if they're not as talented, I feel like they'll do a better job overall than the line that we had last year. But you know, a lot of unknowns on the O-line right now.
Got it. Kerry?
I'm gonna grade it at a curve. I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
And the couple reasons I can give it a 7. One, years and years down the line, my grandson is gonna come to me. He's gonna say, "Dad, did you live through the Ravens 2025 offensive line?" I was like, "Yeah," and it was an ugly time. Boy. It was an ugly time.
So I was there.
So, hey man, it ain't a lot that can get worse than that. So
Thanks.
you know, we already working, you know, at plus capacity based off of that. But then another thing, I don't think there's a spot that's given on this line. You know, it's not earmarked for anybody. I have confidence in Ledford and just Mentor and the staff as a whole that they're going to get the best 5 guys out there. So that gives me a little bit more confidence that, hey, if they got to shuffle some things, if it's Gwen, if, you know, Emory Jones takes another leap and it's him at guard, maybe, I feel like this coaching staff is going to put the best 5 guys out there. And then I also have confidence in Declan Doyle and his kind of attention to detail and some of the things I think he'll do to mitigate some of the risks that I don't think, you know, love Todd, but Todd didn't mitigate risk quite as much as I think Doyle will with some of the boot action and some of the different things that I think he's going to implement into this offense. So, you know, it's a more rosy outlook, but I'm going to say a 7 right now.
All right. Sutton?
Yeah, I actually agree with Kerry on this one. I would go with a 7, mainly because, like I saw somebody say in the chat, it is a bit of addition by subtraction. You know, getting Falele and then also getting Andrew Voorhees out of here. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I think somebody said earlier, I don't know why Andrew Voorhees is still on the team, to be honest with you. But anyways, I'm gonna go with the 7 because I am like, unlike Chris, I do have still just a little bit of faith, even if it's just like a faith of a mustard seed in John Simpson. You know, back when he was here before, he was not bad with us. I mean, last year he wasn't bad. I mean, I think as long as he can stay low on the he can stay low on the he wasn't terrible last year, was he? He was an average guard, right? And so that's what I mean by like addition by subtraction, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you get rid of somebody who's like well below average, and you get somebody average in there. Right. And then like Kerry said, you get the scheme going and things like that. Like make sure you can kind of maybe hide some of your insecurities on that offensive line. If you can do some of that stuff, then I do think that this offensive line can at least be serviceable this year. And I'm looking for it to at least be able to, because think about it. Last season, we would all agree that the Ravens offensive line was piss poor.
Yes.
Yet Derrick Henry still ran for the second most rushing yards in the league, and we averaged 156 rushing yards per game.
So
imagine
the same 5 he had damn near 2,000 the year before that. The same 5.
I'm saying? Exactly. The year before that, he almost had 2,000. So it's just like, I think that regardless of who's out there, Derrick Henry's going to get his. Now, I'm not saying that to say, oh, we can just kind of like put whoever out there, put whatever 5 out there. I'm not just saying that. Like we need quality starters out there, but I do think that with Venga Ioane and like you mentioned, that is pretty high capital to spend on an offensive lineman. I think that's going to pay dividends for us, man. So I'm gonna give it a 7 right now, but come week 3, week 4, because we believe it or not, we play a lot of pretty solid defensive lines to start the season. I know we're looking at the beginning of the schedule like, oh, like these are some easier matchups, but the Colts got a really good defensive line. The Saints ain't no slouch, right? The Cowboys with Quinnen Williams and them boys, right? It's not going to be sweet. So we're gonna find out very, very early. So I may be able to move off of my my 7 take right now, but as of right now, I will say a 7. I think it's actually underrated.
Okay. Let's go back to the good thing. We've heard a lot about a certain individual making one-hand catches all throughout camp, and we've seen Ravens video after Ravens video of Jacoby Lane doing that. First preseason game, he jumped up with 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. I'm sorry, that's Elijah Surratt, 6 catches, 66 yards. Jacoby had the touchdown.
30
game.
Yeah.
Also, the 2 tight ends have looked well, going forward. So which rookie pass catcher has impressed you the most? Surratt, Lane, Jose Cuervo, or Hibby?
Yeah.
You laugh at the nicknames?
Jose Cuervo.
You know who that is. You put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
You want me to take this one first, Coach?
Yeah, you go first. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I think the obvious one, man, Jacoby Lane. I think that Jacoby Lane being in street clothes after like 1 quarter of football the other day tells you everything you need to know about how the Ravens feel about him. Just being that guy in this pass catching room that Lamar Jackson really has never had. I think the closest thing would probably be Isaiah Likely at tight end. But this guy, Jacoby Lane, who's going to be able to line up on the outside, and what that does, unlocking even some of the receivers that are going to be playing closer to the ball, like Zay Flowers, and what that does for guys like Rashad Bateman and whoever else, Tez Walker, whoever else, it's going to mean a lot because I think this offense is going to be able to be a lot more multiple. And what Jacoby Lane brings to the table really kind of allows for that. You think about like some of the types of catches he's making, like over the middle, like behind him, he contorts his body, right? Excuse me. He's got huge hands. So he can kind of just like go up there and just box you out rebound you. One of those. He's like a basketball player, like playing on the gridiron, So like, I just think that we've seen a lot of evidence of that in the previous training camps. And of course, a little bit in the preseason. And of course, I think we're going to see more of it tomorrow too, by the way. Joint practice with the Commander starts tomorrow. I'm expecting to see a lot of Jacoby Lane work. So we'll see what comes out of that. But no, man, I think it's Jacoby Lane by far. But don't get me wrong, the young tight ends, they do look good. I mean, Hibner had a really good catch in that first preseason game on the wheel route up the sideline. I'd love to see that from him. And then also you have Josh Cuevas, who's making it happen in training camp. Quiet as kept. They don't talk about it too much, but Josh Cuevas is doing his thing. And I think really it's going to come down to which one of those guys plays better in line when it comes to who's going to get the nod as like the tight end 2 directly behind Mark Andrews. But I would go Jacoby Lane, though. That's my final answer.
Jose?
Yeah, I agree. Jacoby Lane. I said it. I said it before on my show that Jacoby Lane. There are some things that he clearly he still needs to work on, right? But he plays like he doesn't know he's not supposed to be this good yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he plays with a lot of confidence. He may not run the best route. He may not do every little thing exactly how he's supposed to, but he understands I'm supposed to get the ball, right? And I'm going to get it over whoever, however. And he shows it week after week. I mean, me and Hendo been to a couple of the practices. We saw it firsthand. He's doing it in preseason games. Like he did it in joint practice. It just the confidence stacks on top of each other, and it validates every time he goes out there. And I just don't see how he doesn't have at least a mid-level success in his role, because he's getting all this hype right now. Like he is a number one, but he's not the number one. Zay Flowers number one. I still think Rashad Bateman going to be number 2 if he's here, right? And that's who you have to focus on. So Jacoby Lane is still going to be going up against that second or third corner in Eaton. And also shout out to Elijah Surratt too. He's kind of underrated in what he's been doing in a preseason. I think that's I think we all kind of like Elijah Surratt where we picked him, and he's going to be solid for us.
Kerry and Chris. Chris, I didn't give. I want you to go last because I don't think you're going to take the easy route with Jacoby Lane. So I'm gonna let Kerry go. I just thinking that I know you. I don't think you're gonna take the easy route to go and go Jacoby Lane. But Kerry, go ahead.
All right, so I'll switch it up a little bit. I'll go Josh Cuevas. Everything that I thought about him as a prospect after watching the film after he got drafted has just seamlessly come into play, in training camp and preseason. We're not talking about a star player. We're not talking about a guy that's going to be like the future of the position or anything like that. I just thought that for an offense that we know is going to have some Sean Payton influence, that boot action, those drags across the field, you need a tight end that can uncover quickly, get the ball and get upfield. And he's not like this super athlete, but he can accomplish that, and he can eat up grass. Doyle is going to create space for him. You're going to see plays like the play he made on the last preseason game. But I just think he's a super solid, jack of all trades type of tight end. I think he's going to be able to fit eventually in line, but I think he can be detached. I think he can be H back. He's just going to be a really, really useful player. And so I just think that, it was just a really nice addition, and I just see it working with him.
Chris?
So I am going to go with Jacoby Lane. I mean, what Sutton said, I mean, that's undeniable. The man is in street clothes. Come on, he's putting on a show, and you just listen to everything that's been going on with him. Every practice, joint practice, preseason games, he's performing. He's doing what you have to do. People could say, "Oh, it's preseason. Oh, it's practice. Do it in a real game against real starters." And it's he can only go up against the people that are in front of him.
Right.
That's all he can do. And so far, the people that have been put in front of him, he's done his thing. So much so that the coaching staff is like, Elijah Surratt, you're still going to be in the game dressed. Jacoby Lane, enjoy the sweatpants and be comfortable on the sideline. So that speaks volumes to me. That speaks, so loud for me. And that's not to say the other guys haven't been doing well, because like everyone has said, Elijah Surratt has done his thing. The young tight ends, as far as being pass catchers, have done their thing. They still have some work when it comes to blocking, because they could be on rollerblades when it comes to blocking, because it's ugly. But we knew that. We knew. You watched their tape. We knew that they're pass catchers. They're not blockers, and you don't draft these rookies to come in and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be blockers from day one. Mark Andrews wasn't a blocker,
right?
So
Still ain't.
Yeah, it's going to be a work in progress throughout the year. But just as far as being playmakers, I think they can bring something to that tight end room.
Gotcha. Now,
also shout out to Tez Walker too. I like what I seen from him.
Yeah, Tez. He just caught between a rock and a hard place right now. He caught between a rock and a hard place. But to close out this wide receiver, this rookie wide receiver talk, could one of these young receivers make an established receiver expendable? You already know you're going first. I mean, you already know you're going first. Go ahead.
I mean, we've been talking about it. I mean, B thinks Bateman is as good as gone, and this is before all the drama came out. He literally said it like the day before the reports came out about him. He thought that Bateman might be on a trading block because of how well Jacoby Lane has played, right? And again, like we talked about Tez Walker, we talked about Elijah Sarratt. I don't think Sarratt has played bad at all. He had that one fumble, but lots of production, like what you would see in college. I still think he runs a cleaner routes at the end of the day. And it could be one of those things where they look at the room. And again, I don't know. I don't agree with B that they're going to necessarily get rid of Bateman. But if there was somebody that's going to be expendable, it probably would be Bateman, just because like they already locked up Zay Flowers. What rookie are they going to get rid of? Right? Like they're not going to get rid of those guys.
No, yeah, you're right. They're going to keep all the rookies. You're right. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, or maybe Tez Walker, I just mentioned. But it'd be one of those two.
Son?
You know what? I mean, look. As much as I have, been vocal about Rashad Bateman being a staple as wide receiver too, like it's set in stone. If after this season you have Jacoby Lane emerge as like one of the better, more talented skill players on this team, that does make Rashad Bateman expendable. It does. Only because you're going to get Jacoby Lane on the cheap for the next 3 to 4 seasons. Right. And if you already paid Zay Flowers and you're staring down paying Lamar Jackson and maybe some other guys as well, Nate Wiggins eventually, what have you, you're going to have to cut costs somewhere. You're going to have to trim the fat somewhere, right? So I have to be real about it. It would make basically anybody underneath Zay Flowers expendable, right? If Zay Flowers, would have waited another season to get signed and Jacoby Lane went out there and had a monster rookie year, it made them look at Zay Flowers a certain type of way, So nobody's really like, I guess you could say like safe when it comes to that, because listen,
except Zay,
right? Yeah, except Zay. But yeah, man, I think it's true. As much as it pains me to say, I think it's true.
Gotcha. These jokers, they live to get up under your skin about Darren Bateman, boy. Kerry and Chris, that's what I'm laughing at. Because anytime he talk at or around Bateman, them jokers, they be on him. They be foot on neck on Sutton.
Don't let Bateman come out that first game
Kerry,
and
I don't know if you know,
get like 2 touchdowns.
We might have to introduce Kerry. It's over. Kerry, have you heard about the Bait book?
Nah.
Okay, so you got it close to you, Sutton?
Oh, it's always right here.
So he has a book.
Ain't nothing but an arm length away.
Anybody that has talked negatively about Bait since maybe like February, their name is in that book. Look at the screen.
That some names are in Sharpie. Some names are even in Sharpie.
Some names are in Sharpie.
Those are the ones who have doubled and tripled down on their hatred.
So anybody who's talked negatively on Bait is in the Bait hate book. And I think it's like 2-3 pages by now.
Yeah, we're on page 2 right now. But yeah, like Jose said, I mean, don't let Rashad Bateman come out there and, Because I mean, look, I know we're not getting into the whole Bateman stuff, but like if he is playing out on on Sundays, right, and he doesn't get traded or whatever, I think he's gonna be playing with a lot of emotion and a lot of like a chip on his shoulder, right? I'm just saying, like,
I agree. I think
now he's in the limelight
without all this, I think he got that.
Exactly. I think he's kind of like there now. But we'll see, what this new coaching staff does with him and stuff like that. I think that he could definitely turn a lot of heads this season in terms of, how much of a red zone threat he's going to be, because you're going to have to worry about, like we talked about, Jacoby Lane going to terrify defenses, right? Yep. Mark Andrews, you still got to respect that. As much as Zay Flowers doesn't really produce that much in the red zone, you still have to respect Zay Flowers because he's Zay freaking Flowers. He can lose a defense and walk into the end zone if he wanted to. But that leaves Rashad Bateman, who's probably going to be running a lot of intermediate routes over the middle. We've seen a lot of that in training camp. It's allowing him to do that now because you have a guy like Jacoby Lane who can be on the outside, and Rashad Bateman's not always banished to the boundary like he was in past seasons. So I think it's going to work really well for him, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Got
you. We'll jump on to this fourth con because with great conversation, the time is flying by. And I looked at the clock minute and I was like, man, we done took off. We went from 5 minutes to 25 minutes to 51 minutes. But I appreciate good conversation with you guys, and we could talk all during night. This next one, it's a con, and the reason I want to get your opinion on it because it's hard to judge. We haven't run the ball well either preseason game, and normally it's twos versus twos, and the way I tried to explain it on more Sip2Tally earlier is basically preseason is skill-based matchmaking, kind of like from Call of Duty. You're gonna play the people that's on your level. Now, like I was telling them earlier, the streamers don't like skill-based matchmaking because all they want to do is beat up on us that can't do all that fast. But in preseason, it's skill-based matchmaking because it's twos versus twos. What's gonna happen when one of them twos got to play with the ones? Will we still see the same kind of results? Because our twos running the ball versus other people twos, it ain't been great. But we ain't played now one of our top 4 running backs.
Right.
Derrick Henry ain't played. Rasheen Ali ain't played. Justice Hill ain't played. And then Randall played maybe a half. Yeah. Maybe. So are you guys concerned with the running game? And I'll start with you, Chris.
No, not really. Once you have Lamar in there, once you have Derrick Henry in there, and the starters, although I'm a little bit worried about the offensive line going into the season just from meshing and playing next to each other for the first time. That's always going to take a little bit of getting used to. So, but I think when you have these two talented players, when you talk about Lamar and Derrick Henry, I think it'll work itself out. And I think as the season goes along, I think you'll see hopefully if they stay healthy, hopefully you'll see a more cohesive unit and a better run game, because I something alluded to it earlier, when he was going down talking about addition by subtraction. It's, you could say what you want about the offensive line last year, but Derrick Henry still did his thing. And I think I could say whatever I want about being pessimistic about, John Simpson, but he's better than Andrew Voorhees and Daniel Falele.
Yes.
So if he's the weak link of the offensive line and Derrick Henry did what he did last year, he could have an even better season this year if he's the same Derrick Henry. So I'm not really worried about the run game going into the season. I actually think they'll lean on the run game more, and I think it'll be the passing game that might get off to a slower start to begin the season.
Gotcha. Kerry?
Yeah, I'm not really worried either. I just think, especially at offensive tackle, it's such a steep drop off when you get to the second units at offensive tackle, and that's across the NFL as a whole. But there's typically more talent on the defensive line in the second units. So I think you factor in that, you factor in like last week with Minnesota, you factor in Flores, he's not holding anything back. Again, you factor in they're not playing their top 4 running backs. I mean, it was just going to be what it was. The back end of this running back room, as far as like the 5th, 6th, 7th guy, leaves a little bit to be desired. Like I would probably think that they're gonna add like a veteran to the practice squad by the end of camp kind of situation. I don't see any of these guys necessarily instilling a lot of confidence. I mean, all solid guys, don't get me wrong. They didn't play poorly, but nobody really put their best foot forward of these kind of 5th, 6th, and 7th guys. So, but you factor all that in, and Chris and Sutton, they all made some great points. I'm not really worried about the run game at all. I mean, as long as like if nobody kidnaps Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry, I'm really not worried about the run game. But then you factor in like, okay, we've seen some improvements to scheme, we've seen some improvements to the offensive line as far as talent, and I'm really not worried.
Got you. Jose?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like I said, like the starting 3 or 4, on a depth chart didn't take a snap. I mean, when you get down to like 4th, 5th stringers, you're not expecting a whole lot. You just kind of want them to get a little bit of work. And the first game against Philly, Heather, salute.
Appreciate it. 20 months, the dub. Appreciate it. We'll get to your question when they finish answering this.
No, the first game I thought they did all right. Adam Randall got a touchdown, whatever. The second game, I expect nothing less from a Brian Flores defense. And in fact, I think coaches got together and they said, "Hey, look, we're not playing each other this year. Let's give them a little bit, a little bit more look on the defense and get them ready. Because both defenses were going at it.
Right.
I feel like they did that intentionally and kept the offense vanilla, and just say, hey, look, y'all just gonna have to deal with it. We're not gonna do anything exotic out here, but you're gonna get some different looks on defense. You got to prepare for it, and it's going to be a struggle. I think that was expected, but I think that will help make both teams better going into the season. But I'm not worried about the Russian attack at all.
Gary?
Oh, I went already. I think Sutton.
Okay, my bad, Sutton.
Well, yeah, I think they already stole all the good points. They already making all the good points. No, man.
We can move on to the next person. I'll let you go first. We can do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So the next guy on my list is a guy that I mentioned briefly earlier. And somebody helped me with the pronunciation of this the other day. It's Joe Fagnano. He has really forced himself into this conversation about potentially maybe keeping a third quarterback, even though I know the third quarterback is protected on game days. I just don't know how he is to be classified on the 53. But through 2 games, he is 37 of 48, 327 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. And the interesting thing is he looked really poised in both games. The only thing I will say in defense of Snoop Huntley, and I said it multiple times today, Flores was throwing the kitchen sink at Snoop. He only threw a couple spoons at Fagnano. But when Snoop was in the game, he was throwing toilets, sinks, all kind of plumbing, pipes and whatever. But and Fagnano got a little bit of that, but he didn't get all of that. And then keep in mind, Snoop played well the first game as well. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on Fagnano? And I'll start with you, Kerry. I'm sorry, not Kerry. Sutton.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, Fagnano, I think the biggest thing when I'm looking at him play, he seems comfortable out there. He seems poised, right? Especially for a young guy. But like you mentioned, Brian Flores was throwing a lot more at Tyler Huntley. And I think that was what was so frustrating to me watching the game from the broadcast angle. Because, from the broadcast angle, you can't see everything that's happening in the play, right? So all I'm seeing, I'm ball watching for the most part. I'm looking at the offensive line, see how they're holding up, but I'm ball watching for the most part. And Tyler Huntley's just holding on to the ball. It was almost like he had stickum on his hands, right? He couldn't let go of it, So I'm just thinking to myself, like, okay, there must be something that Brian Flores is doing that's making him hesitate like this. And I want to give Tyler Huntley some grace because, Tyler Huntley, he's played with the ones against ones in multiple like high leverage scenarios and actually showed that he can be a viable quarterback in this league. Right. So I give Huntley the grace. He's definitely solidified QB2. Fagnano, I think you have to take with a grain of salt, like his performance. Again, he looks poised out there, but I just don't think that he was going up against a whole lot. So he's a guy who like you mentioned, the third quarterback is going to be protected, but how do they designate him to get him in on the 53 without having to, put him down the practice squad? Maybe he gets taken off waivers, whatever. I think that he's just going to be one of those situations where he was a mercenary during preseason and he was trying out for the rest of the league. And as unfortunate as it is, you want to keep all these players. Like some of y'all mentioned, we're at like 58, 59 players, right? And we got to get down to 53 in just a couple of days. Like, he's one of those guys. So I think, you're going to have to eventually, well, not eventually, but unfortunately, part ways with, and somebody will probably pick him up. But shout out to him because he's made the preseason games just a little bit more enjoyable. Yes. It hasn't been like an offensive explosion, but we've been moving the ball just enough to keep it interesting. So.
Hey, Kerry said earlier, I lived through the Emory Jones and the and the, what was the other white dude name? Shoot. Neither one could move the ball. Yeah, quarterback. That made the team. Like, Dennis Leary.
Leary. Oh, Devin Leary.
Hendo called him Dennis Leary.
Oh. Devin Leary. Yeah.
Them games were like receivers might as well not even been out there for those games. They was getting cardio, but go to you, Jose.
No, like what Sutton said, like the thing that stands out about him is the composure, the poise, and even though yes, Huntley got more thrown at him, I think really what the coaching staff wanted to see is how are you going to handle it, right? They're not giving the offense much to work with, but they want to know, okay, are you going to go through your reads? Are you going to hit the check down? Are you going to get rid of the ball when you need to get rid of the ball? Just how do you handle those situations? I think that's kind of what they wanted to see from Huntley in this game. And like Sutton said, like holding on to the ball too long. Look, I mean, he's going to be the backup, but that didn't help his case. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to see discipline play at that position and take what you can get in those situations, because there are going to be games where you're playing a really tough defense, and if you can't make a play, you can't make a play. And Tyler Huntley, even though he's gotten some starter, he's got to start in certain games, he's never been asked to make plays. You know what I mean? At least at the times that he was successful. I know he got a little time in Miami, and it was short lived, but he was never asked to be the guy to go out there and save a game or make a play or anything like that. Just live within the system. So that's all he needs to do. And Fagnano, again, coming in with no bad habits, and they just tell him, look, just follow directions, just do what we tell you to do. And he's doing it, right? Like I think that's why you're seeing a lot of the young players on this team have so much success, because they don't know anything else, and they're just telling them just follow what we're telling you to do step by step, and they're doing it, and it's successful.
Yeah, Chris. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go.
My bad.
The question was Joe Fagnano. I said, I put the G back in there. Fagnano, however you say it.
Better than how I say it.
What are your thoughts on him? You over exaggerate the G.
I leave a few words out, a few letters out. I've been really impressed with him, and watching the. I was telling Mike and Kerry again, and I think even you, Coach, when we did the Draft Junkie show where we talked about Skylar Bell, and I said how that UConn offense, it was probably my favorite offense.
That was his quarterback.
And yes. They were so multiple, and they attacked defenses in different ways. And when I saw that they picked him up, I wasn't like, oh, look out now. I was like, oh, okay, he showed in college that he could have a lot on his plate when it comes to the mental aspect of the game. He didn't have any physical traits that really wowed you, but the way he's come in and performed, I mean, it's kind of like Jacoby Lane in a way, where he's performing in a way that's kind of undeniable. You could say, oh, it's preseason, but there are other quarterbacks around the league who are more established who aren't playing the way he is. And these aren't just gimme throws that he's having. It's not like they're busted coverages that he's just getting lucky on it and finding the deep player. He's making the right reads and making the quick reads too, before defenses can even react to what he's looking at. He already knows where he's going with the ball, and he's been been damn impressive these last couple of weeks. So hats off to him.
Another thing that I thought about as you was making your comments, the guys that he's playing with, he's actually throwing to in practice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Snoop ain't really throwing to. He might be throwing to Jacoby Lane, maybe LeJounte, but the other cats that been out there, Snoop ain't throwing to them. Snoop throwing with the big dog with Lamar. That now the chemistry with Hibner and Jose Cuervo with Fagnano, that it looks natural, and probably because they throw each other all the time, doing whatever reps they get, they probably going with them. That's another thing you got to throw in there too. But when it comes to him, but we're gonna answer Heather's question. I was kind of waiting on Chris to come back to answer this. She asked, "Hey fellas, where does Teddy fit in? Will he take Trenton's spot, or will he be the third?" Teddy Buchanan, Chris is BD. What do y'all see Teddy fitting in at? Chris?
I think they're going to slow play it with him. Since he started practicing, and I don't think he's even fully practicing yet. I think he's just running individuals, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're going to slow play it with him, but I don't see him really early on in the season. I don't really see him being a threat to Trenton's spot. I think maybe week 6-ish around there, if Trenton is struggling or something like that, we could see Teddy sprinkled in. But it's the injury that's the only thing that's holding it back, because I'm a big Teddy fan, and I thought he did his thing last season before the injury, obviously. But it's that injury. I think they're going to slow play this one.
Gotcha, son.
Yeah, just like a couple of other players on the team, you can tell they're being very, very cautious with people that they're bringing back from injury. I mean, like Teddy Buchanan, like Ethan Posick, like a Nnamdi Madubuike, most namely, right? So in terms of where he'll fit in immediately, I'm not exactly sure. But I was also a really big on Teddy Buchanan, especially ever since preseason last year, really, when I saw just how instinctual he was, and he brought that into the regular season as well. But I will say this, though, Trenton Simpson, I do have a little bit more of an excitement for what he's going to be able to do in this Jesse Minter defense, because I think we're going to see him rushing the quarterback a lot more. And just with how creative Jesse Minter is, I think that Trenton Simpson is going to have some really, really big highlight moments and some big plays, especially early on in the season when he's going to have most of the opportunity to do so, with Teddy still recovering. But it's hard to say what Teddy will look like, but I think Trenton will, of course, get the nod early on. And I think he's going to make some big plays, and he's going to make it hard for Teddy to come back and take those snaps from him.
Care?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be kind of like a platoon situation early on as Teddy gets back up to speed. I think this is a prime opportunity for Simpson. Like, I would lean Teddy in like base defense, but you know how they use Cal Hamilton, and you know how Minter likes to mix things up. I don't think we'll see a whole lot of base defense compared to some of the other teams around the league. So what Simpson can provide, how they can weaponize his athleticism and the flexibility they'll give him, he'll give them as far as blitz packages and things of that nature. I think they'll lean more Simpson, especially early on. And then it'll just be up to him. If he proves up to it, I think he'll stay in the lead of that platoon throughout the season. If not, I think you'll see it kind of creep more to Teddy taking the lead there. But I think it'll, at the very least, it'll be a platoon to start.
Gotcha. And Sutton?
No, Sutton went off.
I just went. Yeah.
Missing somebody. Is it Chris?
Yeah. I didn't go.
Okay.
It's Jose. Yeah.
I mean, you guys summed it up pretty much. Like, I think the advantage that all these players have is this coaching staff, and I think this coaching staff is going to put everybody in a position to show their best selves, right? And Trenton Simpson, like we saw early on, is he has flashed. He's shown those flashes, and I think I've heard Coach say it, like when he's not thinking and he's out there, just playing, like you see a different version of him.
Right.
Unfortunately, when Zach Orr took over, there's just a lot of confusion, and when you're second guessing yourself, you look like a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
Under this system, he has a chance to just go out there and play and show that, okay, like if he understands what's going on out there, he can see, everything. He's fast. He could be an explosive player, and if he shows that version of himself, he will keep Teddy Buchanan at bay. But Teddy Buchanan, he showed last year he can rise above it to a certain level, right? So he has a different level of understanding. At least that's what he displayed last year. So I agree, it's going to be tight, but Trenton Simpson has an opportunity to really hold it down.
All right. So real quick before we get into the last little part, it's 279 here. Do me a favor and tap that like button, please, and thank you. Do me a favor and tap that like button. By tapping the like button, you start us on the fast track to 14K. We hit 13K Sunday night. And, by tapping that like button, you start us on the fast track to 14K. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. But to close this out, I'm basically got one question for each one of y'all, and I'm gonna start with you, Sutton. All right.
Okay.
How many sacks did Mike Green get this year?
I'm projecting that Mike Green he'll finish the season with 6.5 sacks. I'm gonna go with 6.5 sacks on the season. I just think that Mike Green, like, I was watching some of the tape from the Vikings preseason game, and some of the same issues that I saw, because I thought he had a pretty good game by and large, but some of the same issues that I noticed last year with him kind of popped back up in that game. And one of them is, like, everybody talks about, like, the tremendous bend that Mike Green has, right? But the only problem is I still feel like he's a little bit undersized for some of these NFL level tackles, because he'll get all the way, like, almost around the tackle, but at the very end, when he's, like, almost parallel to the ground and it just takes, like, a half a second more to, like, get to the quarterback, he kind of gets buried sometimes by, like, these bigger offensive tackles. They just kind of push him right into the ground, and, like, that stops his rush completely, and the quarterback steps up and makes a play, whatever. So I don't know if it's going to take him putting on some more weight, some more muscle to kind of finish those plays, but I do think that he'll benefit from having Trey Hendrickson rushing opposite of him, and he's going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities to kind of hit, like, some of those cross chop moves that he's so good at, and, like, using his speed to rush guys. So I think 6.5 is a good step up from what he had last year, which is what I think at, like, 3.5 or something like that, 3.5 or 4, something like that.
Some on the low end right there.
Yeah, some on the low end, but I'll go 6.5 sacks for Mike Green.
All right. And I was putting everybody else's prediction in the chat on the screen while you was doing that. For Kerry, and I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on this. Has Ethan Burke played himself onto the 53?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot, man. Like, the dude is the ilk of a player that has always worked here, and he's done nothing but show up at every turn so far. He's got the size, he's got the physicality, he's got the instincts. Like, he's just proved too much at this point. He's got pedigree. He's a a dude that could have went earlier, than undrafted easily. I think dudes like this you just don't let walk out the door. So I think it's a lot, or somebody jumps out there and is willing to put a pickup to get him that's worth them, letting him go. But at this point, cost control for a few years, adding depth to the position. Like, we know you can never have enough good pass rushers, good edge players. Yeah, I think it's a lock at this point.
Yeah, I'm really excited from what I've seen from Ethan Burke. This game right here, he was team issued like DeLuca. Like, DeLuca and Burke be at practice with just the stuff on that the team give you. Regular socks, shoulder pad, helmets, nothing extra. And then DeLuca wore the turf tape and lit wristband and towel was out there biking folks Thursday. I mean, Saturday, and then same thing with Burt. He come out there with a little swag, and he went to playing different. I told him you got to put something on more than just what the team give you, because when he got mossed in practice by somebody, DeLuca. He was out there with nothing on but cleats, ankle socks, and running around getting beat. He come out there in the game, swagged out, and played pretty good.
Look good, feel good.
Exactly. Jose, for you, is it more likely defensively that we lead the league in interceptions, sacks, or 3 and outs?
I'm gonna say interceptions.
Okay.
I'm just basing it off of what I'm seeing in preseason. Like the secondary is more aggressive, right? And I think the looks that we give them, like the different fronts that the offenses aren't going to be able to diagnose. It's going to make for a lot of confusion for quarterbacks, and I think we'll see a lot of interceptions that just go right to the defender because they're expecting something else, and somebody pops out and the ball's right there. So I think we up on everything, man. I think we up on everything this year, but I see interceptions leading the way for us.
Gotcha. And lastly, for you, Chris, Derrick Henry. Behind this offensive line, behind a worse offensive line, you've seen him go for 1,900, almost 2,000. Then last year, the same offensive line, 1,500. Despite being 32, what do you think numbers wise for Derrick Henry?
I can see him being right in the middle of both of those numbers. I think he'll be better than last year, but not as good as a couple of seasons ago. Not because I think he's worse or anything like that. I just think that this team is going to spread the ball around a lot more once they get into that groove of the passing game. I think it'll take some time, and I think they'll lean on Henry a lot. But I think once they get into a groove, just as far as the O-line and Lamar with the wide receivers and in this new scheme, I think they're going to be throwing the ball around a lot more. So I don't think he'll get to 2,000 or 1,900, but I think he'll fall just under that.
Gotcha. Now, Jose was witness to this drama yesterday, and I did talk to the guy, and we're gonna get him his jersey, but because of my members sat through and had a blast over there, I'm trying to run something back, not that. So those are my members that saw the message. They've done what I asked them to do. So we're gonna hit the button and see if it works. And this will be a little happy from Fanatics. And so I'm gonna hit this button and see if it works. And it's gonna be a little happy from Fanatics. All right, I hit the button. Let me see. Y'all see anything in the chat? I see it, but I don't know if anything popped up in the chat, but I see it. Let me share my screen with y'all. Let me share my screen with them. So they ain't There's your winner.
Who's that?
T Sizzle. There's your winner.
Okay. Salute.
Congrats.
Congrats.
So that will
sound
be
off in the chat.
The winner of the little happy from Fanatics. And also we did have our winner for the next flight jersey. I've been in contact with them. The size wasn't right, so I'm waiting to hear back from him to go from there. But we'll get that out, and as soon as he gets it, and send me a picture, I'll post it for everybody to see. And our giveaways will come back at the end of the month, starting when the game starts. So the first one will be at the end of September. We'll reset points the week of the first game, and then we'll have our normal regular stuff. We'll have trivia during the games. We'll have fun over there, and call-in shows and stuff like that. So the way to get points, we'll reset the tally points is, well, we call them SIPs now. The way you get SIPs is you be in the chat and be active, donate, or become a member. And the more you do, This thing showed me a response. Is this T Seals a response? A response just popped up. Hold on, where is
I
that?
see it in the chat.
Yeah, it popped up on my thing over here. I wanted to. You're welcome.
Congrats, T-Sis.
Congrats to
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I don't even know why I was in that popped up. I was funny. But hey, I appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with us, and we'll do
Wait a
this.
minute, Coach. Can I ask you?
Go
Can
ahead,
I ask one more thing?
Go ahead.
I got a question, and I was hoping we would bring this up, but we didn't get to it. Why do y'all not care about kicker? That's what I want to know.
Oh, okay.
Because I've been listening to you, Coach Jose. I've been listening to you a lot, and both of y'all stand on the same side of the aisle on this.
Yeah.
And like I've been meaning to talk to y'all about it, Coach.
It's a good question.
I guess you can start. Why do y'all not care about kicker?
We have too much on offense to put all this pressure on the kicker. Go score freaking touchdowns. Do you remember what last year? What the kicker do in the Super Bowl?
Yep, the Seahawks kicker. What he do
Don't
all
know.
season?
Don't know, because they scored touchdowns and they stopped people.
In fact, I looked it up. I believe, him and the Dallas kicker,
Brandon Aubrey.
He's considered the best kicker now, right?
Mm-hmm. Him and the boy from KC that just kicked the 69-yarder.
He missed I think 7 field goals.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I mean he kicked more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean you're gonna miss kicks is my point. Tyler Loop missed 4 field goals.
Mm-hmm.
Only one of the field goals that he missed was under 50 yards, and that was the one at the end of the season.
Right.
And
that was his first pressure kick.
And that was my favorite one. Look at all the nice things they gave us. Look at all the nice things. Well, no, seriously, because I said it last year when people were talking about Tucker. Listen, man, like that team was built to play for field goals, and we had to stop playing for field goals. So if we have an average kicker, that's supposed to be good enough. Your kicker should not be put in positions to have to win the game off of 50+ yard field goals. Like we're playing to get within 50-yard field goals to try to put some points on the board. That's not how you play modern football. So we have to get out of that mentality. If we have to settle for field goals, we need to be within 35, 40-yard range, right? And he's gonna make those. I have no doubt about that. If he's missing those, then we can talk. But no, it's just not a concern. Like it's just not. Like, get touchdowns, like Coach said.
Yeah. I just think I know we always say the other 53 got to do more, but we Lamar, Derek, Zay did amazing numbers with trash offensive line. We are going to put out at least average offensive line in front of them. Go score touchdowns.
Yes.
And I feel like the only pressure kicks he should have is end of half, end of game.
Yes. Yeah. And my thing is, those pressure kicks will happen. Like, that time will come, because I'm not so much as worried about the other 52 guys on the roster as much as I am concerned about the other 31 teams in this league. Okay. And what I mean by that is that these are all other professional teams who get paid just as much money as the players on the Ravens, who have just as much athleticism, just as many smart guys in the room coaching, right? It's going to be competitive. Like, we're not always going to be able to blow out teams and score so many touchdowns to the point where we don't even need a kicker, and you can actually hire me to do it just because it's just that insignificant of a position. No, we're going to be in these high pressure scenarios. And so far, Loop hasn't really shown us or proved that he is capable of consistently being that guy, not to mention the kickoff issues that we had last year as well. Now, it seems like he's cleaned those up a bit. We haven't gotten any penalties like that in the preseason.
I got a thought on that too.
Okay, at least not to my knowledge that hasn't happened, but I'm just saying, like, there's going to be times where we're playing it, and it's going to shock a lot of us, right? We could end up in a dogfight with the Saints. We could end up in a dogfight with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and now
definitely in Brazil. Right? We gonna be in a
Brazil
dogfight
against the Cowboys, right? It could happen. So I think there's going to be a lot more high pressure moments, and I would want my kicker to be automatic from like 45 and in. I understand Tyler Loop. He didn't miss a ton of kicks. He didn't miss a ton of kicks last year. I'm just thinking like 45 and in, especially when the lights are brightest, Jose. That's when I'm looking at it. You know,
like that's literally the only kick he missed is that one at the end of the season. He's only missed one kick from under 50 yards. So I mean, that's
that one.
And then the one to start the season.
It doesn't get much more automatic than that, you know.
And then the one to start the season as well. It's like it's just
this season or last season.
Preseason don't count.
Well, no, it definitely counts.
Nah.
It definitely counts.
Preseason don't count.
What do you mean? I mean, he's kicking in a game. He's wearing the same jersey he's gonna be wearing on Sundays.
Hey,
I've never seen
September 13th. It's gonna say 0-0.
I mean, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yes, he has to make the kicks. Obviously, I'm not saying he can't go out there and Billy Cundiff it, right?
Right.
But
and are we so comfortable? Are we so comfortable with Tyler Loop to the point where like we don't need any competition? Are you guys on that side too?
I didn't say that.
I always prefer competition. I always prefer competition, but
everybody should have had somebody beside them when this camp opened up. Everybody.
I just think this debate that we have about Tyler Loop speaks to how scarred we've been from John Harbaugh system that we feel like we need a kicker. No other team that's competing for Super Bowls is thinking of this hard about a kicker, right? Like they're just not. Like the Seahawks weren't in a position to have to kick any game-winning field goals last year. The Eagles weren't in a position to have to kick any game-winning field goals to get to to get there and win the Super Bowl. Like you want your kicker to do the job, obviously.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean.
I also want to have unwavering confidence in my kicker.
I told Nitro
a fourth
yesterday.
Quarter big time kick. I do, and I just don't right now.
If Luke missed the first kick, Nitro was like, I'm gonna crash out. I say, but if he end up in the season 9 for 10, what are you crashing out for?
Yeah.
He's going to miss. You just don't know when it's gonna happen. Hopefully it ain't like last year. But Chris, I feel like you itching to get on this Luke thing. I feel like it. You got something about Luke?
No, I mean I kind of lean towards where Sutton is, because we know that kickers, their minds are very fragile. So I mean, we saw Billy Cundiff. He was nice, like he was the man. Then he misses that kick,
that's what I'm gonna say, son.
And his career just went off the rails. And we've seen that with kickers throughout the years, where these guys look like they're on the top of their game, and then they miss a kick in a big game, and then they just go straight to shit. So, I'm kind of with Sutton, where you got to bring in some type of competition to push them and to add on to that pressure.
Right.
Because that if you have a vet in there and you're like, oh, this guy, they brought this guy in to take my job, that raises the pressure for you.
Yep.
So you not only do you have the pressure of needing to make the kicks, but you have the pressure that if I miss this kick, my job is on the line right now. So I feel like they missed an opportunity with that as far as bringing competition in.
Okay, we'll close it out with you, but this is what when I said I had something about it sudden, this was what I was saying about this exactly what I was thinking. Harbs think he the special teams, special teams Yoda. Had Luke trying to do if you kick it just to the 19 and a half and put some air on it, we can get a corner kick over here and do that. But then if you put some backspin on the back corner to come back and we can do that, Harbs think he, guys.
And all of that coaching was going on. Meanwhile, the defense is in their own meeting room with defensive coordinators, and the offense is in their own meeting room. Oh my goodness, man! I'm so glad we got Jesse Minter. I'm so glad we got Jesse Minter. I can't lie to you, because what do you mean? Like you over here coaching up special team? This is part of the reason why I want a set it and forget it kicker. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want.
But which kicker comes to mind? There aren't that many. We used to having one of the greatest kickers to ever do it. Kickers aren't automatic in general.
Yeah, but no, so. I wasn't saying that to say there's a specific guy that I have in mind that I want to bring in right now. But I do also believe that, there's a couple of guys who you can just bring in for just workouts and practice and stuff like that. My guy Alex, my co-host, he said there's guys from the UFL, right?
Like somebody just said, Aubrey came from the UFL.
Aubrey came from the UFL. There's talented guys there.
Daniel Carlson, who just got signed yesterday.
Yeah,
there's options.
So there are people who have been Pro Bowlers who were on the street. So you can bring in competition. Doesn't mean that they're going to be better than Luke. We're just talking about bringing in
just competition, right?
Yeah. I agree with. That I agree with.
Like so, basically, my stand is I'm not worried about him, but should there have been two kickers, two punters, competition everywhere? I think so. I think so. I think so. But I honestly not now that we're talking about it, I think Mike was so focused on fixing the offense of line and the defense that having a punter kicker competition wasn't really because our punter's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is. I'm gonna speak. I don't want to speak too soon because I said this about our last punter, and then Hendo's on my case, and Hendo ended up being right to the last year. He booming the ball right now.
Yes, sir.
He
He booming that thing.
Average
And then
like
we get rid of
55
him.
yards per punt the other day. Yeah.
He booming that joint. But and baseball lifestyle, I say I'm telling y'all that boy Luke finna fold under pressure like Arnold Schwarzenegger made. How much to get Jose to do something how they did the short guy?
What? Huh?
What short guy?
You making me nervous here, Chris.
Chris always bullying your boy Sutton, man. It never fails. Never
Sutton's
fails.
my guy, man. That's my guy.
Always bullying your boy.
Who the short guy?
I don't know. Who's the short guy, Chris?
It sounds like that might involve some charges. You got to be the owner of the 49ers to get some charges dropped. We can't be doing that.
They talked about my friend.
The Fail Street Mafia.
Yeah, Fells Point Mafia.
Fells Point Mafia. My bad. Gang, don't get me when I show up. Because I called y'all the wrong name. Don't get me. That's your boy making. Let me get a pass, Jose. With that being said, man, that is the first episode of Ravens Roundup, season 5, I think, episode 1. Go follow these gentlemen, and their information is not anything, but it will be soon as I undo it because I was tripping there. But PRP, you got Sutton, Quiet Storm Sports, his co-host Alex, Mondays and what? You and Alex on there? Sutton?
Mondays and Thursdays.
And then every other day is Sutton, just randomly popping up on your YouTube channel. And you got Carrie and Chris with Deep Cover Podcast, who surprised us with 3 episodes in the middle of the summer?
2, yeah.
1 offense, 1 defense.
Yeah.
So they popped out and you sneaked out, and you gotta be tuned in so you know when they come out, because when they come out they be gold.
Rumors are there might be one this week, according to rumors.
Yeah.
Okay. Shefty, Shams, breaking news. So, but yeah, you gotta tap into them because their stuff is more. And I want to make sure I say this right. Quality over quantity. You ain't gonna get a bunch of them, but when they come out, they're good listens. They real good listens. Especially if you're a football junkie, they real good listens. So you just got to be tapped in to Deep Cover Podcast, and then you don't have to do it on YouTube. It could be through whatever podcast avenue you do on your ride to work or whatnot. And then lastly, Jose and B Lunch Break Hot Take. Jose and Hendo every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 6:15 ish. Sometimes fairs and sometimes B, but pretty much it has become my morning staple Monday through Wednesday for the most part. And Wednesday at 7:45, they got the LBHT show where they talk Panthers and Ravens. Then the after show that comes after that, but you got to be a member or a Patreon for that.
You gotta check out the show from last week. B told a story about this guy from the 80s who was trying to be a Seahawks owner. He tried to start out being a GM, but he had a rival. He wanted his rival eliminated, and he hired somebody to take him out with a crossbow.
Damn.
Yep.
A crossbow.
Yep.
Cold-blooded.
Yep. That's on the Overtime Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Crazy. And one last thing before we go, Jose, tell them about the pick'em thing again.
Oh yeah, the pick'em league. LBHTshow.com. If you click on LBHTshow.com, you just go to the members section, member dashboard, or type in members.lbhtshow.com. Sign up for an account real quick. It's quick. It's free, and you'll be a part of the league. We have about 120 people signed up right now. We're trying to get to about 200, and then the winner will get a prize. But even if you don't win, there's going to be tons of winners. There's going to be weekly winners. There's going to, you'll get little badges on your profile. You'll get all kinds of achievements, and you get to talk trash. All right, and you get to see your rankings every week. So it's going to be very interactive this week. Me and B will be going over it on our show. Me and Hendo will be going over it on our show. So sign up and join the fun.
All right. With that being said, good people, we will see y'all in these YouTube streets. And again, keep your ear to the streets now, because you see 3 of us. The other 2, they just pop out. They just show up. So just know. Hey, I appreciate all y'all. Thank you for getting the 13, helping me get the 13K.
Yes,
I think this year gonna be a good year for all of us, team wise and stuff to talk about, because it started out actually good with Luke missing the kick. So we've been nonstop since he missed that kick for the most part, which I appreciate that as well. Exactly. Peace and love, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Tuesday night.
Peace.
Peace.